What's up, guys? Black Scout Survival, and today we're going to be talking about urban survival PACE planning. And PACE is a military acronym that stands for primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. Now, PACE is usually used for comms planning in the military. You know, you can understand how critical communications is to, support to ground troops in a combat environment. If your comms get cut down, that's a bad thing. You know, you're kind of left out there by yourself. So having, a systematic approach to backup plans is needed. PACE is good because you have 3 backup plans if your primary plan fails. Usually people, when they're planning, they have plan A, plan B, but that doesn't work because, the environment, things can change, civil unrest, streets gets blocked, you may have to do this, you may have to do that, your technology goes down, cell phones and stuff like that, you may have to adjust. So this pretty much has you plan all that out. Now, when you look at, special operations, when they conduct missions, they have the plan set out like that because, and that's why they're so good at completing missions, is because they're prepared to do these, different things if something happens. And also they practice. And I would encourage you to get, practice your plan to get, very familiarized with it. But when you're talking about PACE, you have your primary, which is your intended plan. It is usually the only plan you really need because it usually works because you've thought very great in detail about it. So, and it uses it's the most efficient and quickest way of getting the mission accomplished. Then you have your alternate, and it's going to be just a slight deviation from your primary plan, and it may be something as stupid as like, the weather change or, rainy weather or, a street's blocked off or something like that. So it's not going to be very a detrimental change from your primary. It's going to be a slight deviation, and it should work just as good as your primary plan. Now, your contingency plan won't be as good or as quick as your primary or alternate plan, but it will still get the mission accomplished in a timely manner. Then you have your emergency planning, and your emergency is last resort, and it uses, it could be primitive means of communication like sending a courier, like I said, or, we'll kind of use self-defense as an example. Think of your primary, in a self-defense situation, you keep a concealed pistol on you, and that's your primary, okay, a lethal force. Your alternate may be a backup pistol or a tactical folder, a fighting knife. Both lethal options and almost as good, if not as good, as your primary. Then your contingency may be something like a Kubotan, Aspeton, or pepper spray, something that's non-lethal and not as good as your other plans, but still will get the job done. Then your emergency plan may be hand-to-hand combat, learning a fighting art and being able to defend yourself. Now, the emergency plan will work. It's the greatest risk because you're actually engaged with someone else. But, you can kind of understand where I'm going with that. It breaks down how you plan. And PACE is good to plan, every, avenue of your, survival planning, whether it be grid down, disaster, wilderness survival, your backup, your redundancies, and all that kind of stuff. Help you develop a survival kit of items that will, accomplish numerous tasks and using things to be versatile. So it's a very good approach to planning, and hopefully it helps you with your urban survival, planning, grid down, disaster scenarios, civil unrest, developing that plan, and also practice it, also share it with your loved ones, your friends or network that may be helping you in a situation. But check out blackscoutsurvival.com for more tips and tutorials, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.